Hello and welcome. Here we are again, Tuesday noon my time and evening 7 p.m. Marianne's time. What are we going to talk about today? Marianne and I had our usual Monday meeting to chit chat and explore that. And what we came up with is really, are we creating or waiting? And there are a lot of different angles to look at, but one that was really clear for me is how many people are worried about climate change and how many of them are waiting for the politicians to do something. Good luck. Is my awareness in that regard. What if we create? And there are people who are active, who are creating, yet is fighting against something, creating. And that is not necessarily true. What is your awareness, Marianne?
Yeah, you mentioned it. Is that really creating, fighting against? Is that creating? Yeah, it creates something. Does it create greater? I'm not so sure
Yeah.
about that. And even though it's climate change, but also now, how many people are waiting up till the day that this pandemic, however you want to call it, is over and they can go back to their routine and call the routine also the creation of their life or
Mhm.
whatever they think. But how many people today, Karina, really the energy of slow motion got me. And I was often in the question during the day, what is this? Because I noticed today that
Mhm.
it agitated me to see and hear speak persons and from a slow motion as though it is also the waiting energy because it's fighting against, it's with their opinions, it's with the judgment. So waiting from that aspect, as I can judge this and this and this and this, then I don't have to do anything. That's the waiting. And at the same time is go and looking up, what can I judge? What can I find not really working and then have my own opinion? And then perhaps I know I can go different with that or whatever, but it's all in slow motion waiting energy and not really creating greater or different even.
Yeah. And in some way, this puts me back to the movie Tomorrowland that we talked about last month. Is that, the adults are waiting and the kid is saying, no, we don't have time, we need to do something, let's do something. And how much, to bring it back to here, how much are we aware of what even our thoughts are creating?
Mhm.
If I uh, say, oh, this is too hot, nature doesn't necessarily get that I don't want it that hot. It just hears hot. So it's hot. Or I don't want any rain. And then we complain about the drought. And, so there are all those things that are, on the one hand, subtle, yet our thoughts create.
Yeah, yeah. Our thoughts create, but we don't. get it in that way, because it is, do you see, that's what I was saying, that was what I was thinking, and that's happening, but no one opens up their eyes and go and ask a question. Yeah, but hey, what can we choose different here? And that waiting, is that something created by the mind, as though the idea is, yeah, but I, as a little person, I can't do anything about the climate change. What am I going to do by my own? So I wait for the others. But when everyone is having the same thoughts, then we create massively the waiting.
Yeah. And how much are we, quote unquote, listening to what science says, that this is what we need, that is what we need, this is so on. And I feel powerless in creating that, which I can absolutely understand. And what if there is more that science is not looking at, that I, as an individual, can create?
Yeah.
It's that not waiting attitude, that not giving up attitude, that sadness. I mean, how much are we polluting, quote unquote, the earth with our
Mm.
sadness, with our rage, with our hate that is uncontrolled? Oh, I'm angry, bang, bang. You
Yeah.
know, if I just look at the amount of shootings that we have in the US right now.
Yeah. And not only there.
So,
And it is, Karina, it is creating and not the most kind
mhm,
environment. And at the same time, even then, nature generates more. Nature doesn't wait. Nature doesn't
yeah,
go, oh, yeah, I will only go with those thoughts and everything that is fired on. Nature is really showing there is always something possible, greater, different, whatever it is, but there is always something more we can create. And yesterday during the day, I went to the park and I was in a lot of questions for myself, because there is a lot changing now also by the choices I made
yeah,
the last weeks. And it was so beautiful in receiving so much from different aspects of nature, as though showing up birds that normally I wouldn't catch, only going by, hearing them singing. Yeah, but now they were really coming towards me and nearby me, and species that in general we didn't see it for years. So only that joy of appearing species not seen as that close as it was yesterday for a long, long time, that brought me a joy
hmm,
that immediately I can acknowledge, yeah, but what were you thinking a few hours ago by going with that and that and that thought? Because that was limitation, limitation, limitation. And look what nature shows you. There is diversity, there are possibilities, there is happiness, there is creation, there is generation, so much within a few minutes.
yeah. And what if we become like children again? Children rarely hold on to their emotions. Oh, I'm angry, and therefore I'm going to be angry for the rest of the day and even tomorrow. But they let go and they can switch into joy. They can take in and receive what the earth is showing them and shift their energy as a result of that. Are we willing to go that route?
And at the same time, Karina, when we have a look now into the world, children, how much are they limited now by parents, by society, by rules,
Mm-hmm.
by as though like nearly saying you can't be that switching energy within a second. You have to be this way or this way. And when you are too happy, that's also not allowed because I can't catch up with you. Whomever that is at that moment, but it's like, yeah, the not receiving part is obviously expanded for a lot of people.
That, and can we look at what is going on and ask questions? What is really going on? You know?
And asking questions is like a training, as though I can remember when I start asking questions, it was from start, it was like, but what am I gonna ask? What is a question? Not even
Yeah.
really getting the energy of a question, and then it started, and then the same questions in a way came back every day, but it is keep going on and asking what else is possible, what else is possible. That question for me did a lot of opening up, and even now catching myself that I'm thinking I'm asking a question, which in truth is somewhere a conclusion or a definition or a calculation with a question mark at the end, which
Mhm.
in truth isn't a question.
Yeah.
But by training, asking questions, it becomes more ease to recognize when you aren't questioning,
Yes.
because then you are stuck. When there is true question, everything flows in.
Yeah.
Everything flows in. When there is a conclusion or definition or whatever with a question mark, then there is a sense of not getting an answer or not becoming clear or whatever, which also slows up and
So
into the waiting, because we don't want to know what we know.
I think that is an important statement. We don't want to know that we know,
That we
and we
know.
don't want to know what we know.
Yeah, yeah.
And uh, I've taken a class this past 4 days, and I noticed in a lot of the questions they were asking class that the facilitator said, that's a conclusion with a question mark attached. And what got really clear for me is, what if we follow that supposed question up with, is this truly a question or a conclusion?
Mm. So the question after the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And really be aware when we are concluding, because that is our most familiar territory, is the conclusion. We're not entrained to asking questions.
Do you know what catches me now? What energy is coming in, and it has to see with the pandemic that's going on, is that conspiracy theory is like those who truly start questioning all this,
Mhm.
the complete situation, cut it off, because it's not allowed to ask questions. That's
Mhm.
not allowed. So when you are really asking questions, are you a threaten energy for them? for
The
your
question,
environment.
the question is yes, you may be a threatening energy for those that are attempting to get control
Yeah,
over, power over. And you are a contributory energy for your own life and for those around you.
yeah, yeah.
Because if I mean, if we look at the whole um, last almost 1.5 years, how much have we just bought what was sold to us? This is what it is. This is how you need to deal with it. This is.
And
Did
still going
anybody
on.
ask a question?
And still going on, because I can
Yeah.
remember from the start, there was a perceiving and knowing, a consciousness, whatever you can call it, that I said, it's not true what they are telling. It's not true. But there is nothing concrete you can, yeah, show them that justify, because they want to have justifying what you are telling. So it wasn't, but that all those lies are showing up now. And even now, how many people are already, and I call that indoctrinated, as
Mhm.
like blinded, so blinded that even with the justifications, not of justifying, but the proofs of this is going on and this is going on, and it's really clear that they still gonna call that the lie, and the lie the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also what is baffling to me, and that is almost independent of the subject area, that people are not willing, and that's going back to know that we know, to catch the discrepancies,
Hmm.
to catch the fact that yesterday you said A, and today you're saying F.
Yeah.
But you're saying that A equals F, which is not the case.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, when I hear that being told to me, it just says, wait a second, what is actually going on here?
Yeah. Yeah, but it is sectional, in sections thinking, in sections hearing, and it's not. Yeah, it's like in this 10 seconds they want to hear what they hear, and even the 10 seconds afterwards there is someone saying completely against what they said 10 seconds before, but people are not willing even to hear that, to go with
Mhm.
that. It's like, oh no, those seconds are past.
Past
So
this
this,
now, yeah.
and isn't that interesting, because within Access they speak the choice, the 10-second increments choice, and it looks like we have difficulties, quote unquote, with choosing.
Hmm.
But isn't it choosing every second, 10 seconds, to believe the lie, even if it is the opposite of a lie before, and then another lie and another lie? And
It is choosing.
it is choosing, but
Yeah.
then we don't acknowledge it as it is choosing also. It looks like, yeah, the lies we
Hmm.
still, hmm, we still buy in, the ones we even sell ourselves, because we are lying to ourselves.
We are, yes, we are lying to ourselves, and are we willing to be what in Access we call brutally honest?
Yeah, yeah.
You
But
know?
you know, isn't it required also for being brutally honest? It is required. That's my way of going with it, to be present in every second also, with, yeah, with everything, with every energy. Because when you make yourself blind and deaf or whatever more,
Yeah.
how can you be brutally
How can
honest?
you? Yeah. I fully agree with that. So it's truly, and are we willing to put the creative energy that, in a way, we all have? We may not acknowledge that we have creative energy, but we do. And are we willing to put that to good use to create a change that we would like to see instead of waiting for somebody else to create that?
Yeah, yeah, and it is everyone, every species has and be the creative energy, but doesn't acknowledge it, and is not
Yeah,
willing to go with it, because we are sitting here, we have a body. Isn't that a creation? As a matter of speaking, it is already a creation. So it's a big lie we tell ourselves, that we can't create. And
yeah.
could it be that creation is, yeah, what is the definition of creation from the start? What did we learn? From who did we learn it? What creation is and isn't? And is that really true? Are we willing even to know what we know, that we know something about creation?
That is a very valid question. And taking it even one step further is, how much has religion told us that we are not potent enough, creative enough, powerful enough to create, that that is the domain of God.
Yeah,
Whatever your God is.
yeah,
But
yeah,
God is the one who creates. You cannot create. And, you know, I have asked that for many, many, many years. Did God create people to have playmates in the sandbox of creation and not be by him or herself? Or are we just created as peons?
yeah. And if you go there also with nature, as is nature also here to create together,
Mm-hmm.
instead of, oh, nature can go and then I can have this opinion, I can have this definition, I can have this judgment, and then I pull it out on, because yeah, God from religion point is God, whatever and whoever God is the creator,
Yeah.
the big one, and we are the, in a matter of speaking, the puppets, and we have
Mm-hmm.
to follow the creator. You can't create
Yeah.
anything without the creator. Yeah,
And yet, Earth creates.
and earth creates. And even going also with that energy of, are you waiting or creating? Isn't that coming from, or is it possible that it comes also from that fixed
Waiting
point of view, that when God is the creator, you have to wait up
until,
till,
yeah,
yeah,
what creates something changes something.
wow. And that is changing, Karina. It's
Mm-hmm.
the way I'm going with what is going on, and it is for everyone different. Nevertheless, what is available is not only for you available; it is for
all
all
of us.
those who want to choose it is available. And can we truly start to create, or perhaps is it, can we truly start to be the true creators we are?
And what is required for creation?
Yes,
What is
also that.
required is to ask a question, to have an awareness, and then, what is this? What can I do with it? Can I change it? And if so, how do I change it? It's that asking a question, being willing to lower my barriers, my walls that I have up against anything and everything.
Yeah.
Against nature, against other people. We do not need walls and barriers. That's
No.
one of the big lies that we have been told, and that we are continuously told, that we need to protect ourselves.
And
You
how?
cannot do anything to me unless
Yeah.
I agree to interact with you on that.
And isn't that slowing down everything, those walls? Because
Yep.
then I can have a look and I can see and I can decide, will I lower my barrier for you? And then we are wherever we are
Yeah.
already. And creation is so fast that
Mm-hmm.
with slowing down, creation often is gone.
It's a possibility that passed us by because we chose not to
Act on it.
respond, to act on it. Yeah.
Yeah. And Karina, and that's my interesting point of view, asking questions is action. As I, for a long time, that was my idea for a long time, that, yeah, but why slowing down? Why waiting? Why pulling back to ask questions? Seeing it as a waste of time, because you knew that's my goal, that's my not even target, that's my goal, and I decided I require this and this and this and this, and I will do it in that way and that way and that way. So conclusion and calculation and projections and expectations, everything in one. So asking a question within that way of going with the energies, yeah, then it is a waste of time, because I'm not willing to be aware. I'm not willing to know that I know something different and what I know different. So yeah, it changed so much also for me with creation, in creation,
Yeah.
is the action of asking questions. And how many people do see, or having that interesting point of view also, that question is something, yeah, wasting your time is slowing down when you know what you know, which is not knowing, but what you think,
But
and
you
what you
think,
decided, what you think, yes, and
and
it's
how much of a creation is it to ask the question, if I choose this,
yeah,
how will, or what will the life be like? Either my life, somebody else's life, the life of the earth in 50 or 100 years, and just perceiving that energy. Because if we don't ask that question, then we go again into that, as you said, conclusion. Oh, this is good. This is what so and so tells us that we should be doing. But have they asked that question?
yeah,
And usually they haven't.
usually,
Scientists are good at telling us what is supposed to be and how things are supposed to be, but they are not looking at the repercussions. And what we do so often as a result of that is we solve one problem by creating another
Yeah.
problem.
Another.
And
And
to just make a point is I never got it. I mean, I had friends that when the hybrids came out, they said, "Oh, I'm going to get a hybrid because it's so much better and so much cleaner and better for the earth." And I was just looking at it as, where do you get the electricity from? How is that produced? And what the heck is the ecological footprint of a battery?
yeah,
Not only creating a battery, but also disposing of a battery, which is no footprint at all.
yeah,
It
yeah,
magically disappears. And that is where, asking a question really is important.
yeah. And how much, Corina, is creation also connected with self? As when we choose to create, it's from a really individual point of view,
Mhm.
which in truth is not really creation, but also not from asking a question, and as you mentioned it, asking what will this create, how will, even you ask, how will my life be look like within 5 years or 10 years, and then perceiving an energy. Even in that question, you aren't questioning so about you, because you're always involved with nature, always involved with the environment, always involved with by living. So when asking that question, yeah, the energy showing or coming up is that far more expanded than only towards you as
Myself.
a person. Yeah.
And that is, where really the idea of oneness kicks in. And
Hmm.
oneness is not that we are all one, which to me feels like, ugh, get me out of here. I'm not you. I'm not somebody like somebody else, and let somebody else. Not meaning with saying that I'm judging them, but I am me and you are you, and that other person is that whoever that other person is. And yet we're all connected. We're all contributing to each other without necessarily acknowledging it.
Yeah.
And how am I willing to contribute to everybody around me, including the earth?
And including yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But isn't it also, and is there kicking in the way spirituality in general goes with oneness, as when you do the same as me and you think the same way as me, then we are one. We are together in the same way, in the same direction, in the same. And
Mm-hmm.
is that truly oneness? Or is that excluding so much? Is that judgment? Is that
Yeah.
conclusion? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And even with nature, Corina, we can't really truly speak of oneness, living in oneness, when we separate ourselves and from our bodies and from nature and from the universe or whatever. It doesn't work there.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now the question that's coming up is, because we started and waiting or creating, isn't it so that all the definitions we learned about creation, about oneness, about, yeah, all the definitions we learned are those definitions putting us in the side of waiting, because we wait when appears a definition, or we wait when appears a projection or an expectation, and then we can go on, because now it matches with what is,
What's
yeah, matching
what
my
our
idea,
thoughts
or
are.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
those definitions become our thoughts.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah,
And as such, our thoughts do create,
yeah,
but are they creating what we would like to create, what we would like to see? Do we even know what kind of a world we would like to live in? Who
that
has
was my
taken the
question.
time to sit with that question?
Yeah, that was my question, because when we believe that that is what I want to see, but it's all definition, and not truly knowing what you
Mm-hmm.
want to see and have, and yeah, live in, it is really truly, hmm, do we know, do we do we really know what we would like?
Yeah. We think we do, but do we truly?
But even then, as I'm thinking that, for example, oh, I would like to have a house like this and this and this, and I would like that we can go there and there and there, and then etc etc. That's my wishful thinking of my ideal world to live in. My thoughts create. So am I creating towards appearing what I defined as?
That's the that's that's one thing. And is that truly what you would like?
Yeah,
Because I know I have noticed, like what I said about the hybrid cars, people were creating the hybrid cars because they thought that that was the solution. How much are people desiring certain things because they think that is the solution that they have to adjust to without necessarily truly desiring that.
yeah,
And nothing wrong either way. If you desire it, it's not wrong. The question that I'm putting out is this truly what you desire?
yeah. And the image I got was like, when, let us say, you think you ask the question, what is the world I want to live in? But you are going to look like this in the end. So even then, not everything that you could be aware of or that you could know, you're letting in. So it is still a small way of going with what is possible.
And in that sense, you know, I mean, I've said this in a good number of conversations. This is what about diversity? And
Yeah,
what about sitting down and having a conversation in a group and allowing my ideas to contribute to other people as other people's ideas contribute and maybe broaden my ideas?
yeah,
That as a sudden I become aware, oh, I haven't thought of that. Actually, I would like to have that in my world.
yeah. And even though it can be also, oh, I wouldn't have thought about that possibility. And then going the question, is that something that matches me? Because it's not becoming aware of a possibility that you have to go and choose for that possibility.
Yeah,
Stay with what works for yourself. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. And diversity is something that is cut off for years, and yeah, billions and trillions of years. It's more, yeah, is it that
It's that
this
thrive.
reality, creates
like
everything in the same direction, the same color, the same smell, everything the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the drive for sameness.
Yeah. That the sameness.
We're all the same. We all like the world to look the same. We all look the same because this is what is supposed to be the right thing. We eat the same. It's how boring.
How boring. But you said a little before, like the oneness as they speak about in this
Mm-hmm.
reality, that you have something like now like this. But that matches for me when
Yeah,
I hear you say the sameness. Yeah, that's
it's
that energy for me, like, oh no, not for me. I'm not stepping in there. That's not working for me.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, interesting. But we are not gonna wait. We will
No,
create.
we are going to create our worlds and we're contributing to each other, and in that sense, be part of oneness.
Yeah.
And I really got clear how much more I need to watch my thoughts because the thoughts are creation,
Yeah.
and how much more to ask a question. And yes, I've been asking a lot of questions, even just being the question, and so much more is possible.
Yeah. And I that's what I'm start to really like is that brutally being honest, as being aware of your thoughts and then catching you in
Mm-hmm.
the insanity you are choosing with those thoughts. And yeah, having fun with it. Having fun with it. Yeah. Yeah.
And getting out of the judgment that, oh, I didn't watch my thought, I'm a bad person. No, I just didn't watch my thought right now.
Yeah.
End of discussion. Don't need to go into, oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
Or when I am catching my thoughts, oh, I'm good.
Perhaps that's why I'm choosing fun, because when I'm having fun with all those thoughts that not create that great, there is no space to go in judgment of
In the
myself.
judgment,
And
yes.
so
Yeah.
yeah, choosing fun.
Yeah.
Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Let's have
And
fun.
again, polarity isn't creating anything. Polarity is destructive.
Yeah.
And polarity is the result of judgment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what can we do? Where can we go? What is possible? And those are really big, big questions.
And not expecting an
And
immediate
answer.
answer.
I really liked it the first time I heard it. It was, yeah, ask a question and then shut up.
Up.
I thought, yeah, as long as
And
I keep thinking, can I
yeah,
hear what the feedback is?
but that is, Karina, because we learned when someone asks you a question, you have to answer immediately and you have to have the correct answer.
Yeah,
So when asking, it looks like, oh yeah, I have to go and look at it and sorting it out for myself. But sorting it out for yourself, that's not truly a question.
yep,
Oh, we are so cute, Karina.
yeah.
So let's see what we will talk about next week.
Next week, yep. Let's
We will
see
find
what comes
something.
up. And also, we would love to hear from you what you think, what your response to what we're saying is for you.
Yeah,
Where are you with it all? You
yeah, I'm
know?
curious.
Yeah, we're both curious, and there is no judgment of, oh no, you're wrong because you're not thinking like I am thinking. It's exactly that diversity that I appreciate. That
Yeah.
having, oh, you could look at it from that angle. I haven't thought of that. Okay, thank you. That's more where I'm coming from.
Yeah, and me too. And that makes our conversation we often have so interesting.
Yeah,
As yeah, what will I discover more? What is the point of view of the other? And go and expand
yeah,
what is
yeah.
possible to receive from from everything. Mm, I like that.
How much fun can we have with the
Absolutely.
conversation?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So see you next
Okay.
week, Karina,
See you
and
all.
all the others.
Yep. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.